Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. We have arrived here in Minas Tirith after our tribulations in Osgiliath, though the White City doesn't exactly seem to be the safest haven at the moment. What do you say about that, Imrahil?
Some dark sorcery lurks within Faramir's wound. I
I,
do not like it.
I wish we had met under different circumstances, Pineleaf, but I am glad that you came to Faramir's defense when you did. His wound is not deep, but I fear that some fell sorcery remains within it. He swoons and does not respond to our voices. I will bring him to his father in the White Tower. Steward Denethor will want to see what has become of his son. I hope that son and father will both have the strength to come through this. The line is strong, I'm sure they will. Still, for Faramir to be wounded thus, and so soon after word has reached us of his brother's demise, it seems that there will be no end to the challenges set before us in these dark days. I wish we could sit and speak of at peace in Dol Amroth, my home, but that is a wish that must wait. I go now to the steward. You go now to the steward. And what about you, Gandalf?
We must hope Faramir's wounding came not from a weapon of Morgul make.
I do not want to worry you, Pineleaf, but there's something unnatural about the wound suffered by Faramir during the retreat from the Causeway forts. I have seen a wound of this type before, but this seems to be a greatly accelerated pace, and the healing hands of Elrond are many mountains away. There were many servants of the enemy near to Faramir on the field, Pineleaf. We must hope that his wound was not caused by the weapons of Morgul make, for there will be no hope of a cure if that be so. I told Imrahil to make the same as I'm telling you. Do not speak of this worry to Denethor. It may prove unnecessary, but we must not give him reason to despair for the life of Faramir. The young captain is his only remaining heir, and we need the steward to focus on the battle that is sure to come if Minas Tirith is to stand. Of course, I am glad to see you, Pineleaf! But there is now work to be done, and little time in which to do it. That's why he's glad to see me, I'm sure. The pleasantries can wait until after the war is done, if that is a boon we might are ever given. Wonderful. Simply wonderful.
You will need to freely travel throughout the city.
You travel as I do, Pineleaf, on the wings of the storm. Many men call you a harbinger of dark times, but in truth we go where we are most needed. Today, that is Minas Tirith, the Tower of the Guard. You will need to freely travel throughout the city if you are to best serve the people of Minas Tirith. Any obstruction to you for free passage will hinder your efforts, and that is a help to the enemy. The city climbs this easternmost spur of the White Mountain, ascending up 7 levels, each separated by a gate. Men of Gondor safeguard greater and lesser passwords for each gate. The lesser passwords change frequently. The greater passwords remain in use for much longer. I will give you my pledge to your trustworthiness. Show it to the guards at each gate, and they will teach you the passwords for that gate. And one more thing, Pineleaf. The men of Gondor do not know me by the name of Gandalf. They call me Mithrandir, and I invite you to do the same. Right. Well, if I have to call Aragorn by about 17 different names, why not you? Ah, I have found the first of the ramps that go between the levels of the city. 7 levels! Yay! Well, at least we've gotten by the first level without any trouble, but let's see about getting to the second level. Hello there. Mithrandir's word is enough for me, Pineleaf, and
The
I...
second circle is home to ale halls, barracks, armories, and the wielding yard.
And the password is Beacons of Gondor. Share it with no one. Beyond this gate lies the second circle of the city, known as the Soldiers' Tier. Go in peace and cause no trouble within the city. We've got enough of that to spare if the scouts can be trusted. Yep, there is certainly plenty of trouble. Ah, the entrance to the third tier.
Beyond this gate lies the third circle, the Craftsman's Tier.
I will teach you the greater password for the Silver Gate. The password is Anorion. You will find it easy to remember, for he was the son of Elendil who ordered the construction of the city. At that time, it was called Minas Anor, the Tower of the Sun, though it had since been renamed to Minas Tirith, the Tower of Guard. And I guess that's because they lost the Tower of the Moon, which is now called Minas Morgul. Beyond this gate lies the third circle of the city, the Craftsman's Tier. The tier of the city houses shops and smiths as well as the clothier's market and fellow hall. Builders and merchants will find much to attend their needs in this tier of the city, as will any who seek the auctioneers at the houses of clamor. Houses of clamor. Yeah, that sounds like a good description of an auction house.
These are troublesome times indeed.
I'm sure they are troublesome times. Now, I guess the fourth tier would be in this direction. Now for the way into the fourth tier, right?
Prince Imrahil carried Faramir through this gate. Will he live? He must.
Mithridates says that you're trustworthy. There are some for whom that would not be enough, Pineleaf, but it is not my place to deny you. I will teach you the greater password of the Lord's Gate. The password is House of Stewards. There has been no king for nearly 1,000 years, and Gondor is now ruled by a line of stewards. Mere minutes ago, I allowed the Prince of Dol Amroth passage to this gate, and it seemed as he bore the body of Faramir, the son of Steward Denethor. I could not tell if there was any life of him, but I fear that the line of stewards, if he should die, or has done so already. It is whispered that Boromir has already fallen. Yeah, I think I've heard rumors of that. Forgive me for gossiping. Beyond this gate is the fourth circle, known to the folk of the city as the Player Circle. Minstrels and actors frequent the courts of Vorvonve and the Blue Theater, and their wealthy patrons gather at the baths of guest houses between performances. Whee! So this is the fourth circle.
How may I help you, friend?
Just passing through. Now, to the fifth circle. Now for the way into the fifth circle. And here, of course, is the obligatory guard who will teach me the password.
The fifth circle is the Sage's Tier, and it is a place of learning.
I see that Mithrandir has vouched for you, Pineleaf, but it's not enough for me to teach you the greater password for this gate. I will teach you the lesser password, as I have been instructed to do for friends of the wizard that are not known to me. The password is lore. Understand that the lesser passwords change frequently, so conclude your business where we're here with haste. The fifth circle is the city is known as the Sage's Tier, and it is a place of learning. Scholars study the stars from the orrery and tower, and natural philosophers make learned their arguments within its quiet courtyards. Several archives can be found in the fifth circle, as can the houses of lore and the scriptorium, where copies are made of valued documents and records. Alright. And this is the latest one here.
Gondor needs your aid.
I'm sure they do. So now we need to go to the sixth circle. Here we are, coming up to the 6th circle. Do I get a greater password or a lesser password?
The Dome of the Sun is in the 6th circle. The Council of Gondor meets there.
This is the gate of the stones of the 6th circle of the city, and it is my duty to tell you that Mithrandir's word for your worthiness earns you the lesser password only. Conduct your business with speed and depart. The password is now stones. Really? This is the gate of stones, and the password is stones. Boy, these people really come up with hard to decipher passwords. Really, great security here. The 6th circle is known to folk of the city as the Master's Tier, but few of them ever climb to this gate. The houses of healing can be found in this tier, along with a cold hall where the dead are brought to be washed, clothed, and prepared for interment in the tombs, or, in the case of the common folk, the ossuaries within the Hill of Guard. The Dome of the Sun can be found on this level. That is where the Council of Gondor meets to decide matters of state, and errand riders bring their resolutions throughout the city to other reaches of Gondor. They have much to discuss of late, and I urge you not to bother them. Gotcha. Alright, fine. Don't bother the council. Something tells me that I'm going to need to bother the council at some point.
Gondor needs your aid.
I'm sure they do. And now I need to get up to the final and 7th level. Wardens of Minas Tirith. Yeah, I guess I will be a warden of Minas Tirith at some point, right? Because I'm a warden and I'm in Minas Tirith. Is that all you need? No idea. But let's get up here to the 7th level, where, based on recent history, I'm guessing that I'm just going to get a lesser password, assuming they let me in at all, of course. Hi there!
It is the steward's command that you learn only the lesser password for this gate.
And that password is the Council. The 7th circle of the city is called the Citadel, but it is also known as the Steward's Tier. Some of the common folk refer to it as the King's Tier, but that seems distasteful to me. There has been no king in Gondor for many hundreds of years, and the wise rule of the stewards has served us well, if you ask me. The Tower of Ecthelion stands proudly atop the city, a sign of Gondor's might. Steward Denethor rules within the Hall of the Kings, but you will only see within his direct invitation. The path atop the city's pier is patrolled by guards in the citadel and kept clear of obstructions. If you wish to walk the ship's prow and behold its view, do it so safely, while that is still possible. Yes. While it's still possible. There is always that little detail. Now, it looks like Mithrandir has managed to get here more swiftly than I could. How about that? Mithrandir is faster than a hobbit.
You were denied the greater passwords for some of the levels. What rubbish.
Denethor seeks to demonstrate his authority. He should be preparing for war with his enemies instead of hindering his allies. It does not matter, though, for now you have free passage throughout the city. Minas Tirith is strong, and it was built in 7 levels for strategic purposes. Did you notice how the gates alternate sides, first on the south, then on the north? Well, my feet certainly noticed it. And then on the south again. Such is a design causes the ascending road to pass through the neats in the piers of regular intervals. And carving so many arched tunnels into the stone cannot have been easy. It was done at Honorian's command so the city could easily be fortified, and opposing forces will have to have a long road to march before reaching the heights of the city. The walls of the city have never been breached. No enemy has broken the gates. Denethor knows this. He believes that Minas Tirith cannot fall, and that knowledge gives him strength. But it also is a weakness. He refuses the help I might give him, and the help you could provide, I think. That is an error. Boots of the Honorian tree. Okay. And this one are... Oh, tough boots of the Honorian tree. Okay, we'll just take the regular boots of the Honorian tree then.
We must not rely on the strength of the walls. The people must be strong.
We must ensure that the people are strong as well as the walls. It will not be long before the enemy is arrayed before the walls, and in that moment the city's defenders will need courage with deep foundations. There are some folk with whom you should speak, my friend. Unresolved matters that linger and cast hearts into confusion when the end approaches. Day-to-day affairs of the city are managed by a group of officials that comprise the Council of Gondor. They meet in the Dome of the Sun in the Sixth Circle. Introduce yourself to the door ward and do what you can to aid the council. I thought I was told not to disturb them. I knew I would have to at some point. I came here in the company of Peregrine Took, a hobbit of the Shire. Yes, I've met Peregrine on several occasions. He is now a guard of the Citadel, and the less said of that, the better. And I expect he could use a friendly word from you, Pineleaf. I'm sure seeing a fellow hobbit would be good. I spoke with the Lord Dunhir of the Blackroot Vales a short time ago, and it seems that his sons left the city without his permission, and indeed against his direct command. Yeah, I spoke with them. Yes, I understand that you met them. Yes, you did. Good. Find those two within one of the taverns of the lower circles of the city, and perhaps something can be done to soothe their father's temper. All right. I just get here and he already sends me the work. Now, where is Pippin? It appears that I found Pippin.
It is good to see a familiar face in this city of strangers.
Yes, Gandalf hinted that I might be seeing you shortly, but I wasn't sure that I believed him. But it is good to see you. I have met a few friends already, but this city is not built to be hobbit-scaled. I find it quite overwhelming. On the off chance that you really would be turning up, I did arrange one of the taverns for a picnic lunch, and I expect to be here soon. There should be enough good food and drink for the two of us, and we can share and catch up on our adventures. I say our adventures, but really, mine has not been very eventful since last we met. I hope it stays that way, and I am not ashamed to admit it. It doesn't seem likely, though, does it? The proprietor of the Thirsty Seer in the fifth circle of the city should have the picnic basket set out by now. If you go down there, pick it up, and carry it to the edge of the pier, we will have a lovely lunch at the watchpoint. I will meet you out there, but be sure to bring the picnic basket. Oh, yes. I won't forget the picnic basket. Oh, and I might as well start. New deed, the Line of Kings. Oh, wonderful. That deed is going to take some time. Quite a bit some time. But I just can't go and do them all quickly. I picked up a couple of them, but it looks like I picked up a couple of deeds also, right? The stewards of Gondor and the captains of Minas Tirith. I have found the Dome of the Sun. What will I find in there? And will I be welcomed? We have to find that out in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.